All right. So over the weekend in teacher training, one of our beautiful teachers in training read this, and I want to read it as well. I think it's very beautiful. So I'm going to have you start on your back, lay on your back, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop open. Don't worry, we will move a lot, I promise, but I want to read this to you to get you going. And it has a lot to do with what I've been working with anyway, and really returning to who you truly are. So we'll see how far I get with reading this. We might move in between it, but let's start. So 2 summers ago, this is called Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Some of you might have already read it. 2 summers ago, my wife and I took our daughters to the zoo. And as we walked the grounds, we saw a sign advertising the park's big event. And please keep breathing as I'm reading this to you, so use this as a little pranayama practice. The event said the Cheetah Run. We headed toward the families scouting out their viewing points and found an empty stretch along the route. Our youngest daughter, Amma, hopped up on my wife's shoulder for a better view. A peppy blonde zookeeper in khaki vest appeared, and she held the megaphone and the leash of a yellow Labrador retriever. I was confused. I don't know much about animals, but if she tried to convince me and my kids that the dog was the cheetah, I was going to get a Cheetah Run refund. She began, "Welcome, everybody. You're about to meet our resident cheetah, Tabitha. Do you think this is Tabitha?" "No," the kids yelled. "The sweet Labrador is Minnie, Tabitha's best friend. We introduced them when Tabitha was a baby cheetah. And we raised Minnie along Tabitha to help tame her. Whatever Minnie does, Tabitha wants to do too." The zookeeper motioned toward a parked jeep behind her. A pink stuffed bunny was tied to the tailgate with a fraying rope. She asked, "Who has a Labrador at home?" Little hands shot up in the air. Whose lab loves to play chase?" "Mine," the kids shouted. "Well, Minnie loves to chase this bunny. So first, Minnie will do the Cheetah Run while Tabitha watches to remember how it's done. And then we'll count down. I'll open Tabitha's cave, and and then she'll take off. And at the end of the route, just 100 meters that way, there will be a delicious steak waiting for Tabitha." The zookeeper uncovered Tabitha's cage and walked Minnie, eager and panting, to the starting line. She signaled to the jeep to take off. She released Minnie's leash, and we all watched a Labrador retriever joyfully chase a dirty pink bunny. The kids applauded so loud. The adults wiped sweat from their foreheads. Finally, it was time for Tabitha's big moment. We counted down in unison. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The zookeeper slid open the cage door, and the bunny took off once again. Tabitha bolted out, laser focused on the bunny, a spotted blur. She crossed the finish line within seconds, and the zookeeper whistled and threw her a steak. Tabitha pinned it down to the ground with her own paws, hunkered down in the dirt, and chewed it. Everyone clapped. I didn't clap. I felt queasy. The taming of Tabitha felt very familiar. The taming of Tabitha was something that I've done to myself. I'll continue in a minute. Hug your knees into your chest. That part of us that we've tamed so that we can fit in would be something that we're not. Roll up to sit. Bring your hands together at your heart center. To regain and reclaim who we are. To have that awareness that there are rules that have been placed on us that are not our rules. To come into our wholeness and to ignite our passion. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Release your hands, open your eyes, and come onto your hands and knees. Just begin to slowly or quickly, whatever your mood is, cat and cow. Eyes open or closed. Reclaiming the magic that you are. Trusting that your purpose is more important than what someone else places on you as right or wrong. Breathe in and breathe out. And maybe that's sometimes why we suffer, because we live in a place that is not ours. Confines that have been placed on us or directed toward us, we've taken them as ours. And there's no blame. There's no, there just is. It's the world and what it's become. But like I was talking about on Tuesday, go ahead, lift your hips up, press back, downward facing dog. What the earth reminds us, it magnifies for us that we have the ability to create anything we wish. That's why we became human. You're not placed in the confine of a cage. Let your breath get a little bit deeper here. And then bend your knees, lift your seat just a little bit higher. Pull your rib cage in, draw your navel in. And then try to keep the hips as high as they are, but press your legs back to straight. Good, looking forward, step your right foot forward. Lower your back knee to the mat. Inhale your arms to the sky. Just be here, breathe here. As you exhale, release your hands to the floor. Lift your back knee up, step your back foot in just a little bit. Go straight on both legs. Put blocks underneath your hands if your hands don't touch the floor. Something has to raise up so your hands have a place to connect to. And then again, have that feeling of your hips just pressing way back as your spine gets longer. Find your inhale and find your exhale. Soften your eyes. Every cell of your body, we return to that place of awareness. Who am I? What am I doing here? Step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Bend your knees, reach your arms forward into a chair. Rise all the way up to stand. Take a little baby back bend, lifting the heart, but softening the ribs. Bow forward as you exhale. Inhale, look forward. Send your right leg back behind you. Lower the knee to the mat. Inhale the arms to the sky. Again, just land here with your breath, with your mind, your body. Lean back. Feel like yourself being held so tenderly. And then as you exhale, let your hands float to the floor. Lift your back knee. Step your back foot in just a little bit. Go straight on both legs. So your left foot is forward, your right leg is back. Parsvottanasana. Beautiful. Good. Good. Bringing both feet to the front of the mat. Once again, bend your knees, reach your arms forward and up. Chair, and then rise all the way up. Take that baby back bend. And this time, as you bow forward, clasp your hands behind your back. Bow forward, shrugging those shoulders toward the ears. And as you find yourself moving forward, maybe bend those elbows for a moment, shrug the shoulders a little closer to the ears, squeeze the forearms together, straighten the arms again. Powerful. Good, release your hands down to the floor. Step your left foot back behind you. This time, turn the left foot out just a little bit, coming up to warrior one, first warrior. Facing the front of your mat, warrior one. Good, making sure that knee is pointing right at that second toe. Clasping your hands behind your back once again and bowing forward. As the crown of your head reaches toward the floor, rebend your elbows. Re-shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Nice, nice. And then take the arms straight once again. Let your hands float down to the floor. Take your right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Feel that sensation of extension. And then stepping that right foot forward again and opening up to Virabhadrasana 2, second warrior. Left leg back, right leg forward. Turn that back foot parallel to the back of the mat. There you go. And even go a little wider with your stance. There you go. Go ahead, slide that left arm down your left leg. Take that right arm back. Keep moving that right knee forward. That's it. Nice, Angela. And then float your hands down to the floor, downward facing dog. Nice, Elena. In downward facing dog, move to plank pose and take it through your vinyasa or not. Maybe you're going to rest on your knees for a moment. Let's go for the second side and then we'll take a little rest. Left foot forward from downward dog. Virabhadrasana 1, first warrior. Drop that back heel, reach those arms to the sky. We have a tendency to shoot those ribs forward, so pull them back. Lift through the chest, soften through the throat, and then clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale deeply, exhale, bow. Rebend your elbows once you arrive, re-shrug your shoulders towards your ears, and then straighten the arms once again. Nice, Anne, nice, Tony. Ellen, good, very good. And then go ahead and release those hands down to the floor. Send the left leg back behind you so you're coming into down dog split. Flex that left foot so you really feel the power of that leg. Sending the left foot forward, open up to Virabhadrasana 2, second warrior. Have the power of those arms lifted by the side body getting longer. And then send that right arm down that right leg, take that left arm up and back. Beautiful. Keep sending the knee forward. Nice, Annetta. Beautiful, Nancy, Susan, Meredith. Gorgeous. Hands down to the floor and back. You go to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Keep your throat lifted. Head up, head up. Rise up into cobra. Press back, downward facing dog. And then allow yourself to drop down to your knees for just a moment and rest. I watched Tabitha gnawing at the steak in the zoo dirt and thought, day after day, this wild animal chases dirty pink bunnies down the well-worn narrow path they cleared for her, never looking left or right, never catching the damn bunny, settling instead for a store-bought steak and distracted approval of sweaty strangers, obeying the zookeeper's every command just like Minnie the lab. She'd been trained to believe she is, unaware that if she remembered her wildness just for a moment, she could tear the zookeeper to threads. Walk your upper body to the right side of the mat. Staying in your child's pose, just walk your upper body to the right. And walk it to the left. There's always a little extra. You can draw that arm to get that side body to stretch. Returning to center, drawing yourself up into downward facing dog. Inhaling that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Bring that heel to your butt, open up, stacking your right hip on top of your left hip. Keep that left armpit nice and lifted though. That's it. Good, and then step that right foot forward, bringing yourself back into second warrior, Virabhadrasana 2. Nice, Margie. Arms are a little bit more lifted. Good. Once again, slide your left arm down your left leg, take your right arm up and back. And straighten that front leg, pause for a moment, reaching back still, so you really get that whole length of side body. And then take it long out to Trikonasana, keep that front leg straight, triangle pose. Nice, Tony. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Rise back up to Vera 2. Take your right forearm onto your right thigh, left arm over your ear. Push down through that thigh to lift those left ribs up and then extend. Lord, lift your arm up. Get it straighter. Yeah. Side angle. And then drop your left hand down to the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Take it through vinyasa of choice, or none at all. Nice, Nancy. Nice, Andra. Inhaling that left leg back and up behind you when you're ready. Heel to your butt. Open up, stacking left hip on top of right. Keeping your right armpit lifted. And stepping the left foot forward, opening up, nice side open body. Second warrior. Don't let your knee pass your ankle here. Put your weight into your back foot. Good. Now slide your right arm down your right leg. Take your left arm up and back. Other way, Tony. Right arm down. Yep. And then straighten your left leg and reach for triangle pose. Nice, Ronnie. Wide open space. Beautiful. Rise back up there too. Bending deeply into that left thigh. Go deep. That left hip point, though, I want you to lift it up. And then left forearm on left thigh, right arm over your ear. Do not give up on that back leg. Push into that back leg. Nice melody. Strong body here. Strong mind. Present. Good. Reach your hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Take it forward to plank, using your right hand to hold you, Vashisthasana. Left leg stacks on top of right leg. Left arm to the sky. Nice, Margie. Yeah. Lower that hand down, switch sides, nice and that beautiful. Any variations are really welcome here. And then as the hand comes down, lower down to your belly, turn your cheek to the side and rest for a moment. The story goes on. When Tabitha finished her steak, the zookeeper opened the gate that led to a small fenced field. And Tabitha walked through the gate and the gate closed behind her. The zookeeper picked up her megaphone again and asked for questions. A young girl, maybe 9 years old, raised her hand and asked, "Isn't Tabitha sad? Doesn't she miss the wild?" "I'm sorry, I can't hear you," the zookeeper said. "Can you say that again?" The child's mother said louder, "She wants to know if Tabitha misses the wild." The zookeeper smiled and said, "No, Tabitha was born here. She doesn't know any different. She's never even seen the wild. This is a good life for Tabitha. She's much safer here than she would be out in the wild." Bring your cheek to the other side. While the zookeeper began sharing facts about cheetahs being born in captivity, my older daughter, Tish, nudged me and pointed to Tabitha. There in the field, away from Minnie and the zookeeper, Tabitha's posture changed. Her head was high, and she was stalking the periphery, tracing the boundaries of the fence, back and forth, stopping only to stare somewhere beyond the fence. It was like she was remembering something. She looked regal and a little scary. Tish whispered to me, "Mommy." She turned wild again. Come on up to Sphinx pose, elbows underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, knees up, navel in. So your elbows are still on the floor. Good. And hips are up. Yep. Good. Lower back down. Slide your hands by your rib cage. Come up into cobra. Squeeze those legs toward each other. Draw that navel in. And then release all the way back down. Press back. Downward facing dog. Gorgeous, everybody. Inhaling that right leg back and up behind you. Once again, down dog split. Squeeze the legs toward each other so the power of the inner lining of your legs is there. It's almost like you're scooping up into your navel center from your legs, from your heels. You're drawing all the way up. And then step your right foot forward, please. Bring your left leg to the sky, standing split, left leg up. Pointing your left toes to the floor. You got to bring your right low belly in a whole lot because it's going to end up falling to the right. So lift that right low belly a lot. And then take your right arm to the sky, twisting Ardha Chandrasana. Beautiful. Really nice, everybody. Bringing that hand back down, step back, downward facing dog. Take through vinyasa if you'd like, or stay right where you are. Excuse me. Nice. Beautiful. And then as you feel ready, stretch that left leg back and up behind you. Again, pausing just to feel the power of your legs. Squeeze the energy right up to your navel, like you're pulling your calf muscles up the backs of your legs. And then stepping your left foot forward. Take your right leg to the sky, standing split. Squeeze the legs toward each other. And take your left arm to the sky, twisting Ardha Chandrasana. Beautiful. Left hand down. Bring your right foot up to meet your left foot, standing forward bend. Open and close your mouth. Hands on your hips, press down through your legs, rise up to stand. Bring your arms alongside the body and just feel for a moment. Eyes open or closed. With your eyes open, hug your left knee into your chest. And reach back for your ankle, coming into Natrajasana. King Dancer. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Be careful that you don't tip over to the side. Keep your hips nice and square. So your knee starts by pointing down to the floor, and then you pull that thigh back behind you. That's it, and nice. Hollow the armpit. Use the back foot to press the toes or the foot into your hand. Give it a shoulder stretch. And gently release. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. We'll try the second side. Reach for the ankle. Nice, Alana. Prepare. So King Dancer, Aneta, unless you want to do tree pose, you're reaching the ankle behind you. You can do tree though if you'd rather. Good, that's it. Beautiful. Kick that thigh super high, navel in. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then release down. Turn your feet wide, come into squat, please. Anyone would like to come into crow pose and arm balance, you can place your hands down onto the floor. Begin to draw your knees to the upper shelf of your arms, squeezing your feet off the floor. Navel strong, powerful navel here. Good, and then everyone taking a standing forward bend. Beautiful, nice, Linda. Good, inhale, look forward. If you're at the middle of the mat, maybe walk forward a little bit so you're at the front of your mat, and then step your left leg behind you. Again, Parsvottanasana. Both legs straight. And then either taking your left hand over to your right foot or keeping your left hand where it is on a block or on the floor, taking your right arm to the sky, twisting triangle. Open those shoulders, really get the head of that shoulder back, that front shoulder, that right shoulder. Good, now looking down, bend your right knee, swing your left leg to the sky, coming into revolved. Ardha Chandrasana again from this direction, lifting your back leg, right arm to the sky. Maybe reaching back for your ankle, taking the thigh stretch here, maybe staying right where you are. Beautiful. And then releasing both feet to the front of the mat, standing forward bend. Inhale, look forward. And sending your right leg back behind you, not too far, so both legs will be straight. It also doesn't have to be too short, so you can, yeah, there you go. You can take it back far enough as long as the back heel touches down. And then your left arm is going to come to the sky, twisting. You're going to squeeze your spine as you do this. So get the internal organs to get that nice squish, squish. That feeling of tacking that left hip crease back, hollowing the belly. And then bending your front knee, stepping that right hand forward, lifting your back leg up, left arm to the sky, twisting Ardha Chandrasana once again, squeezing, squeezing. Maybe reaching back for that ankle. Opening, opening, opening. And then as you release, step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, everybody. From down dog, inhale that right leg back and up behind you. Send your right knee forward for pigeon. If you pigeon on your back, feel free to drop over onto your back. Right ankle on top of left knee. Squeeze your knees toward each other here. Again, there's the same instructions in every pose, right? Hollow your belly here too. Don't just let your belly fall to the floor. Yeah, squeeze, 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 and then walk forward. Lay on your back. Put your right ankle in front of your left knee. Bend your left knee. Right now, pull your left knee in towards your chest. Yep. Let your right knee push away from you and your left knee come toward you. Right. I nodded at Tish and kept my eyes on Tabitha as she stalked. I wished I could ask her what's happening inside of you right now. I knew that she'd tell me. She'd say, something's off about my life. I feel restless and frustrated. I have this hunch that everything was supposed to be more beautiful than this. I imagine fenceless, wide open savannas. I want to run and hunt and kill. I want to sleep under an ink black, silent sky filled with stars. It's all so real, I could taste it. And then she looked back at the cage, the only home she's ever known. She looked at the smiling zookeeper, the bored spectators, and her panting, bouncing, begging best friend, the lab. She'd sigh and say, I should be grateful. I have a good enough life here. It's crazy to long for what doesn't even exist. I'd say, Tabitha, you're not crazy. You're a goddamn cheetah. Now come on up. Step back, downward dog. If you're on your back, you can stay there. If you want to move through vinyasa, you're welcome to. We'll take pigeon on the second side when you're ready. One of the times that I taught my Facebook 21 days. We started with the question, which was, how many times have you had a dream? Go ahead and come forward onto your forehead if you're in pigeon. Keep rib cage lifted. And part of the dream started to manifest, and you're like, oh, that's good enough. Look what happened. That's good enough. At that moment, the universe said, that's all you wanted? I had so much more for you. That's it? Okay. And taming. Looking at our lives as being that place that is very individual and unique and special and beautiful. And whatever we wish for. And I'm like putting myself on the line to be that person who has the greatest, largest, most magnificent wishes ever. And seeing what's standing in my way, seeing what's stopping me from manifesting them. Old stories, old beliefs. Excuse me. Beautiful. Walk yourself back up, downward facing dog. Stepping your right foot forward, please. Move your right foot right to the center of your mat. Let your right knee fall out to the right. Just got to move your hand out of the way. And I want you to do little push-ups here, as if you're bringing your heart to your foot. So your foot has to be right in the center of your mat. Yep, there it is. Let that right foot fall completely out to the side, be on your baby toe side of your right foot, and then lower your chest down like you're doing little push-ups onto your foot. Bowing to your foot. Shoulder blades squeeze on your back. The next time you lift up, sweep that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. And then stepping that right foot forward again. Walk to the left until you come to the center of your mat. Turn left and bow. Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged, facing the long side of your mat. And then to turn to your right so you come to the center of your mat. Keep going right. Go ahead and then parallel your feet and bow. There you go. Sweet. And placing your hands on your hips, press down with your legs, rise up to stand. Wiggle your feet in just a little bit, turn your feet wide, come into a nice high squat. Bringing your arms out to cactus arms, squeezing that pelvic floor, lifting that powerful center. Beautiful, straightening those legs, turning the people back parallel together toward each other. Good, clasp your hands behind your back. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Inhale deeply, exhale, bow forward. Take those arms up and over any amount. Releasing the hands down to the floor, step back, downward facing dog, hands come forward to the front of the mat, step back, downward dog. Take it through vinyasa if you'd like. Stay right where you are. And from downward facing dog. Did I do down dog split on the other? Okay, left leg back and up behind you. And then step the foot forward, walk to the right until you come to the center of your mat. Turn, turn, turn. Left foot turns in, right foot turns in. Oh, thank you. I knew I skipped something. So can you come, thank you everybody online too. Can you come back facing the front of your mat, bringing your left, I knew there was something magical. Thank you. Left foot to the center of your mat. Let your left knee fall out to the left. Be on your baby toe side of your left foot. That's where the split came from too. I get it now, I'm back. Okay, do little push-ups over that foot. Two more. This is where that, when you release that left leg back and up behind you, now down dog split, left leg back and up. It feels so good because you had it open. Left leg back and up behind you. And then stepping the left foot forward and now taking that turn to the right so that you can come into that wide-legged forward bend. Breathing in and breathing out. Hope some of you will join me, dark moon to full moon, starting on March 1st. I have many spectacular little rituals to do. Connect back to that magic in every day. And I also have a lot of goodies that you'll pick up beforehand that will work with those 18 days. Hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Turn your feet in just a little bit and then turn your toes out, come into a high squat. This time interlace your palms and press up. Also, I'm super excited, Seema, my dear friend that takes us on our adventures in India, she will be with us March 11th, doing a really beautiful teaching on the Gayatri Mantra, one of the most powerful mantras. Good, straighten up those legs, turn the feet back parallel to each other. Now, as you clasp your hands behind you, I want you to do the awkward hand hold, so the other thumb weaves in first. And then come forward any amount. Good, relax your hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly and turn your cheek to the side. Rest. Years and years and years and years ago, I went to Ecuador to an orphanage with a dear yoga friend who invited me to go to teach the children in the orphanage yoga. There's a man from the United States that helped support this orphanage through his donations. And two of the children that were graduating, he was helping to find a life here in the United States. And one of the things that really struck me, turn your cheek to the other side if you're on one side, was that he, instead of bringing the child to, Bergen County, where that there was all the different weathers, this person from Ecuador, this young lady from Ecuador, he was going to send to a warm state so that it would be something she would be used to, something that, it's not to say, obviously, that you can't adapt, but her first moment in another country, he wanted her to feel like she had some sense of home. It's just very interesting where we locate ourselves and feel not exactly who we are. We lose ourselves. Reach back for your ankles. And that could happen in so many different ways. Navel stays in, forehead to the mat, and then lift up both sides, bow pose. Or just as you release down, turn onto your back, Try not to bend, try not to hug your knees into your chest, just roll onto your back, bend your knees, plant your feet. Breathe here, long, deep breathing. Called constructive rest, so it still is doing something wonderful. And then go ahead and lift your hips up, coming into bridge. Lift your chin up so the sides of your throat stays nice and long. Little tiny adjustments in this pose make such a difference, as if you're drawing your knees toward your toes, but you're pulling your ankles back towards your heels, your ankles back toward your hips. So one part of you is moving forward, one part of you is moving back, which just gives such powerful integrity to the pose. Good, lower all the way down, pause and feel. And then if you'd like to come into full wheel, you're absolutely ready for that, or take another bridge, or maybe a block underneath your sacrum. So coming back up, either full wheel, bridge. That was good though, Elliot. I like it. Good. That's okay. Yep. Beautiful. Those of you in full wheel, when you're ready to come down, feel free to do that. Those of you who are on a block, go ahead and stay for another moment. And if you have your seat lifted and you're ready to come down, please do so. And then go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Pressing your knees into your hands into your knees. And coming into happy baby pose, reaching for your insteps. Moving your knees wide, but drawing your shins in. Those shins are always activating. Clasp your hands together. Reach your hands up to the sky. Release just the pointer finger straight up. And then lift your head, neck, and chest and reach through your legs. Keep squeezing your knees wide and your shins in. Navel pulls in. Good. Release your head down. Keep your arms the way they are. Stretch your legs straight up to the sky. And then slowly widen your legs to the letter V. As if you keep squeezing your legs toward each other, lift your head, neck, and chest and reach through your legs once again. Lower your head, squeeze your legs back together, drop your arms out to the letter T, and then bring your right heel down to the floor and let it just hover, straight legs. Let it just hover. Bring that leg up and change legs. Squeeze your knees into your chest. Good. If you have a strap, here would be a great time to grab your strap, strapping your right foot, bring your right leg to the sky, left leg goes straight out in front of you on the floor, right leg up. If you don't have a strap, you can hold at the back of the right thigh. Pressing your thigh into your hands, flexing both feet, so pulling both toes up, very nice. The ease of the strap is when we do the twist, more or less. That's a little more difficult to do without a strap. First, though, the leg is straight up. And then start to take the leg, your right leg over to the left. You got to move your hips slightly to the right. You got to shift your hips slightly to the right to do that. Your bottom leg that's on the floor is going to fall over with it. And for some of you who don't have straps, maybe here's a place where you want to bend that knee instead and just use it more like a spinal twist. You have the strap, push out through the foot. Good, inhale, come on up. Release that leg down. And change legs. Left leg straight up to the sky. Hold it back the leg or strap it. Push up through that big toe mound. And then take that leg over, twisting. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Try to roll straight up to boat pose. So try to roll straight up with your legs lifted. Roll all the way up to sit, but your feet are off the floor. Good, roll all the way back down. Do that one more time. Gorgeous. And then go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. Shift your hips back. Seated Baddha Konasana. Coming forward any amount, making sure that your baby toes are anchored to the floor. But as you lift yourself up, I want you to come into Agni Stambhasana and or right shin in front of left shin. So either right shin on top of left shin, stacking. So Agni Stambhasana is the fire log. It's the stacking of the fire logs. So either right shin on top of left shin, flexing your feet, or right shin in front of left shin, flexing your feet. So if your knee is quite high on top, don't come forward because that'll only congest that right thigh. If your right shin is stacked and your knee is down, go ahead and walk forward. And really flexing your feet, pulling those toes back. This is from the book Earth Speaks, Messages from Mother Earth. I, earth, and the realms of mineral, plants, animal, air, fire, water, earth are waiting for you. We are waiting for your awakening. When you awaken, your collective consciousness will lift us to a next level of consciousness. But we do not wait passively. We reach out to you. We can help you remember who you are by reminding you that you are safely held by the powers that transcend the human state and that we have your best interests at heart. Come on up and change sides. Teachings of the Divine Mother. The other foot comes on, other shin comes on top or in front, flex your feet. And again, just be very mindful if the knee is quite high, don't come forward. But keep pressing the sit bones back and wide. That'll help that stretch of that low back. Good, slowly walk yourself back up. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Take your hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards your buttocks, and lift your hips up. Stretch your legs. Keep your legs straight. Just lift your butt up. Lift your chest to the sky. Take the hips as high as they'll go. And then lower your hips back down. Shoot your hips back behind you a little bit more. And then Paschimottanasana, forward bend here. And as you come on up, pause, take a moment to feel. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to do an inversion. Maybe that means sliding over the wall and take your legs up the wall. Maybe it means shoulder stand, handstand, forearm balance. Nice, Lauren. Very nice. Beautiful. Breathing deeply wherever you find yourself. As you feel ready, come on down. And we will find ourselves in a comfortable cross-legged seat. You can put your back against the wall if you're close to the wall, or come up onto a blanket if that feels good to you. We're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. Really, alternate nostril breathing is one of the most powerful breaths to help bring you back into clarity and balance. So when at any moment that we really lose sense who we are, that alternate nostril breathing is a very powerful breath to remind you. So left hand can come into Jnana Mudra if you like, thumb and first finger touch. Your right hand's going to close off your right nostril with your thumb. I know some of you like to post your pointer and middle finger on the third eye. You're welcome to do that. Closing off the right nostril with the thumb, inhale through the left. Closing off the left with the ring finger, exhaling through the right. Continuing like that, inhale through one nostril. Exhale through the other. Next time you exhale through the left nostril, release the right hand down. Just take a couple of moments in silent meditation. Want to stay here? You can stay here. If you'd like to come down, excuse me, onto your back. Prepare for Shavasana. Deep breath. Very so gently begin to deepen your breath. Your body stretch in any way that serves you well. You're lying on your back, hug your knees into your chest, roll to the right side, come on up to sit. And bring your hands to your heart center. Connecting back to that wild, untamed, original self. It is connected purely to love and light and elevation. Now for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding your hands in space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you check out everything on our website. So many things upcoming. Angela has some amazing things she's offering, and Neil does, and Rachel has pranayama. It's just crazy, wonderful stuff that's coming up. So check it out, please. Love you. Have a great day.
Bye, Cheryl.
Goodbye, Ellen.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome, Aneta.
Have a great day, everyone.
You too. I'll see you soon.